All right, can everyone hear me now? Perfect. Okay. Yeah. First hiccup of the night. All right. So once again, my name is Justin, and I'm the owner and software developer for this game, Wall of Salvation. It's an RTS game that I have been building for quite a few years now. Um, it's essentially a game from scratch, so there's no game engine involved. So that's one of the reasons why it's taking me such a long time. But yeah, so this is the first time that we're actually streaming the game. So it's obviously still in development. So we're actually tonight going to be showing off the first four missions. So if you're watching this live and you have questions or comments, please send them through. Um, if you're watching, this at a later time, any feedback that you can send us through, that would be fantastic. Um, yeah, so we also have another person who's joining us tonight. So I'll let her introduce herself by voice.
Hello. Hi, thank you for having me. I'm Eva and I am the digital and marketing designer at TGD. So I'm happy to be a part of the team.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. So let's get this show on the road. All right. So so we've got our two sides here. So we've got our Dominion Forces and Social Earth. As you can see here, we've only developed the first episode for Dominion Forces. So let's play through that. All right, so we've got our start screen. I won't read all through, but yeah, so we're playing as Ensign Naomi Dawson, and we've got Lieutenant Matthew Dawson and Corporal Amanda Riley in the game. And for our first mission, we need to set up four extractors on the northern ice continent and collect 2,000 units for accepting funding. All right, so let's get a start. All right. So for me, I did all the software. Um, so
Matt,
writing up the
Matt,
software.
please come in, Matt.
Yes, I can receive you, and we just landed at the airfield.
That's good. I was so worried.
No issues. What are my orders?
Yes, of course. Your orders are to move out and set up the four extractors on the northern ice continent. Select your company, advance, and board the cruiser.
Yeah, so thank you. So we just got a comment coming through saying about the music. Yeah, so I'm not a musician by trade, so I had to outsource it. But yeah, I think it's actually working pretty well. I also really wanted to have voice in the game. Um, Obviously, we're a very
We reached the beach
small
and we're ready to
company.
board the cruiser.
Right. I'll make sure the company is selected, then move the mouse cursor over.
Do we need to be within a certain range of the cruiser?
Yes, that's correct.
Any additional information on where we should be disembarking on the northern ice continent?
I believe a flare has been deployed at the disembarking point.
Okay, so we actually, if we look up here, we actually do have our flare. So this is where we actually need to go. So we'll just jump on board. We'll left click. We'll go up here.
Yep.
So for myself, I've been playing games for a long time. I started like when I was 6 years old, and I play all sorts of different genres.
Still figuring out those controls?
Yeah, getting there. But it's like learning to dance with a robot.
Ha! Just keep those circuits in check. We've got a world to save.
On a serious note, were you able to sleep on the plane? I know that can be hard for you.
Actually, yeah. Despite the long flight. Not exactly first class comfort, but I made it. Kinda missed hearing your voice over comms makes everything feel a bit more grounded.
Ha! So now I'm your emotional support officer? Sorry, I'm only kidding. Just take care of yourself, alright?
Yeah, so obviously there's quite a bit of dialogue in the game, as you can hear. Um, Bit of a mixture, I guess, of Warcraft 3 and Command and Conquer. That's what I was kind of going for. So, and now we're going to deploy our company.
Lieutenant Dawson, the prospectors are ready for deployment.
Thank you, Corporal Riley. Ensure that your company and yourself are equipped with the cold weather gear. Maintain constant communication once they're extracted.
Affirmative.
Yep, so the objective is to deploy all these prospectors so we can actually start getting income. So we'll just start finding the resources here. So there's one over here. Of course, as the developer, I know where all they are. But of course, if you're playing this for the first time, you have to explore a little bit. Yeah, it's one of the I guess the curses of being the game developer. You basically know all the secrets, but that's just the way of the game development is. All right. We also added a little while back, depending on which terrain the infantry is on. Um, so yeah, so you can see here they're different. Um, so so I have to restart, unfortunately. So new bug. Wow. So the two prospectors are actually on top of each other and they can't move. So oh, hang on, there we go. We freed them up. Phew. Oh, Eva gave me a heart attack just then.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Thankfully, it's okay.
Yeah. So, guys, yeah, again, if you're watching this live or you're watching in post, I mean, you can play the game for free at tgame.dev.
Deployed and the necessary resources have been extracted.
Very good, Matt.
Any additional orders?
Yes, actually. Take the company north. We lost contact with a research facility. Just be careful. It will be nightfall when you arrive.
Roger that.
Yeah, so we made it to the second level, despite all the rehearsals. That didn't happen. Of course, when we go live, it's always bound to happen. But yes, so we're here on the second mission. So like I said before, this game is completely free. So if you go to our website, tgame.dev, and there's a link or a button rather to play the game. So you'll have access to all four missions. Um, so you can go there, or you can find the game also on itch.io. I'm sure Eva later on will post a link for that. So if you want to support us over there as well, that would be much appreciated. So yeah, let's get into the second mission.
I've just added the link to the chat
Yes,
for
the
anyone
stillness is
that's
chilling. Despite
wondering.
the cold, let's
Awesome.
proceed. Where is the research facility located from here?
We should proceed north, then northwest, and then due east.
Very good. Move out.
All right.
Lieutenant, lights.
Yes. I'm not sure why they're here.
Do you think it could be the scientists?
It's possible, though. The purpose, I'm not sure. Be alert. Something doesn't feel right.
Yes, sir.
So all the audio was actually generated by 11 Labs. So I think it's actually turned out really, really well.
Lieutenant, we've got a casualty here.
Likely cause of death?
Without an autopsy, I cannot be certain, but it seems to be massive chemical burns to his skin.
Chemical burns?
Yeah, likely an acidic burn. But I have never seen burns like this before.
All right. Naomi, come in.
Yes, Matt, go ahead.
Reporting a dead scientist, the exact cause of death is unknown. However, it seems he received massive acidic burns to his body.
Within the research facility?
No, outside in the snow. We're still a while away from the facility.
Odd? Is there anything else?
Lights have been set up here. Were there any experiments that required light posts to be set up?
No experiments were reported that required an outside light source. But I'll continue to look into...
Excuse me, Lieutenant Dawson, the ident card was found on the body.
Excellent work. Who is he?
A Dr. Jamie Turner, 23 years of age, a chemist.
Chemist may explain the burns, but why was he outside?
Unknown. Riley, take some photos. Upload them to Ensign Dawson.
Yes, sir. Photos uploaded.
Good.
Matt, continue to the facility. I'll take a closer look at the photos. If I find anything, I'll let you know.
All right, so let's continue on.
Riley, what do you make of this?
What the? It looks like a gigantic cell beyond the microscopic realm?
Yes, what's that glow? Is it radioactive?
Perhaps, but green doesn't mean radioactive, and I would bet the surface is acidic.
Might have our friend's cause of death.
Call this in?
Naomi, we may have found the reason behind the doctor's death. A green glowing...
Yes?
A cell, enlarged by thousands.
At least millions of times of a human cell.
Riley, take photos of the cell. Be careful and keep your distance. Naomi, what are my rules of engagement?
Ah, I have to go up the ladder. Stand by, Matt.
All right, so again, as a developer, I kind of know what's going on. So you actually have a bit of a choice in this case. You could just move on and leave the cell alone, or you could choose to shoot it. So um, I think I'm going to shoot it. So let's do that.
Your orders are to engage the organisms of unknown origin. That cell was likely responsible for the doctor's death.
Understood.
All right. So looks like we can't go this way. We're blocked off, so we'll have to go down this way. So yeah, I wanted to build up a bit of a mystery to start off with.
Matt, your current orders are to continue to the facility. However, use caution. And if you need to defend yourself, you have the authority.
Understood.
Yeah, so if we just come over here. And another light source, and
Colonel Andrick, is that you?
Lieutenant Dawson, yes. How are you?
I'm good. Riley, this is one of my instructors at the academy.
Good to meet you, sir.
I wasn't expecting another team, let alone yourself.
Unfortunately, I can't tell you the purpose of our mission.
I see.
But I'm also surprised to see you and your team here.
Our original orders were to set up extraction for resources, and then we lost contact with one of our research facilities. We've been ordered to investigate.
Do you need any assistance?
Of course, thank you. It sounds like you've been here for some time.
You assume correctly.
Have you encountered any unusual activity?
Well, no reason to keep it quiet now. An aggressive organism was discovered. It's an enlarged cell, loosely mapped from animal cells. We first saw them when we were setting up the light posts.
Them? There are more?
Yes. In fact, we don't have the personnel to search the entire area, even with your team. Can you deploy a portable power generator?
Yes, I can. Why?
We've located a barracks just north of our position, but it's not functional. You might be able to help us get it working again.
I'll do what I can.
Well then, let's move out.
all right, yep. So let's move out. I guess another curse of being a game developer is you hear the lines all the time. So at this point, it's a little grating when I hear them. But yeah, but it is what it is. In fact, I even have a debug option to turn it off. So most of the time, I don't have the lines on or the music. I do agree. I think it's great music that I've been able to do. But if you hear it like hours and hours every day, it does get to you. So for anyone who's aspiring to be in game development, even just these little things that can help with your sanity, it's definitely worth spending some time doing
How's your
that.
girlfriend, Naomi?
Wife now, actually.
When was this?
It was 2 months ago. A just resumed my duty.
I see. Well, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
So we've got our first building here. So it's our barracks.
Lieutenant Dawson, please set up the portable power generator.
Yes, right away. Naomi, can you open the option to deploy the portable power generator?
Let me see. I have to go over to the sidebar and click on the special icon. Matt, once I've clicked on the portable power generator icon, I'll deploy the building near your coordinates.
Roger that.
Yeah, so one of the actually difficulties of game development as well, especially with an RTS where they're generally a little bit more complicated than, let's say, I don't know, an RPG or even a first-person shooter. Um,
Naomi, the power generator has been activated.
Very good, Matt. I can train additional soldiers using the sidebar. I just need to ensure that the barracks is selected on my end. Just be aware that I can only train so many reinforcements. We still have a budget, you know.
yeah, so, I'm still trying to teach the player what to do, but also at the same time, you want to try to do some original things. So in this case, what I was trying to do was this barracks needs to be powered up. So with one of our main characters, we're able to deploy this power generator in the field, and so now we can build a whole bunch of infantry over here. So let's go with 3 soldiers and 4 grenadiers and 4 rocketeers. Why those numbers? Because we need to by the end. So that's what we need. So, yep, we're getting there, building them up. So another thing, apart from my programming, is I've done the majority of the artwork as well for the game. So this barracks, I drew up. I think it was about a year ago since I did it. So yeah, and I think that turned out quite nicely. I showed a few people; they seem to have liked it as well. Another thing about the game graphically is it is top-down, obviously, uh, and the characters themselves are in a top-down perspective. But I wanted the buildings to be isometric and have that 3D feel to it. So I think they've turned out quite well. So we're just exploring a little bit. There we go, more
Is
cells.
this what you were referring to?
Precisely, we have to fight our way through.
There are no other options. We don't know anything about these organisms.
Noted. Please carry out my orders.
Confirmed.
Please train any additional reinforcement as needed.
Got it.
So I really wanted the 2 sides of the game to be quite different. I wasn't really interested in doing purely army versus army like they do in Command and Conquer. I really wanted to do something quite different. So obviously we've got humans, but we've also got biological entities. So obviously at the moment we're fighting cells. If you stick around, we'll, we might see some more later on. Yeah, so we can skip these. So one of the things that we actually are still working on is balancing, so making sure the 2 sides are fairly balanced. It's a lot of play testing involved, getting it right.
Finally, we have made.
Naomi, all personnel are in the correct position and ready to proceed.
Confirmed. And please be careful.
All right, so our third mission. So this is going to be an indoor mission. So in this case, we need to proceed to the 4 different levels of the research facility. And of course, we are looking for any scientists that happen to be alive. So let's get started.
Wait, what? I can't see anything on the screen.
What's wrong, Naomi?
It's pitch black. No data, no visuals. Looks like the power outage has affected the facility's systems.
Could just be the lack of lighting. Do you have a night vision program installed?
Night vision? Not yet. I'll have to run it from the console. Give me a moment.
Understood. Everyone hold position until Naomi can get us operational.
Yep. So unlike other RTS games where essentially the player is playing out this persona.
Naomi, it's still dark.
I'm sorry, but it seems that I can't quite remember how to return to the desktop.
Naomi, press F10. Or open it via the menu. Then open the console window.
Once the console window is open, you can type help for assistance.
Perfect. So let's do that. So let's go over to the menu and go to desktop. And yeah, so this is kind of what Naomi is actually seeing from her side. So we're actually playing as a character rather than a persona. And so we have our icons from before. So let's do this one. So we've got a little shell program. Obviously, I've been a programmer for a long time. And so I really wanted some sort of programming involved in the game, which we do intend to explore a little bit more. But at the moment, we can do shell command, so help, so different commands. If we have any people from the Linux community, watching this live or a little bit later on, you might recognize some of these commands. But let's just keep it simple. So we can do an ls and see if we've got any files. We do. We have a night vision program. So as the run has suggested, we can run the program. So run night vision.
Night vision online. I've got visuals now. Proceed with caution.
Awesome. So, and you actually have to do that. You can't select the company until you actually trigger that. So yeah, so what this is this is a shader that we've been able to implement. And I think it's really turned out really nicely to give this night vision feel. So we can go through, we can see some of the facility.
Do you see any signs of life, Riley?
None so far, sir. Just silence and shadows.
Stay alert. Spread out, but keep comms active. Maintain high caution.
Be careful. I'm detecting faint biosignatures on the next floor.
All right. So we've even got camera shifting. So yeah, that's a nice little feature to have. If I don't say so myself.
Move out. Tight formation as sight is limited.
Yeah, the night vision looks really great.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. This is actually Eva's, I believe this is her first time actually seeing this part of the game. And so, yeah.
Yes.
Lieutenant, I've activated the computer, but it requires a login.
Riley, do you still have the doctor's security card?
Yes, sir. Let me try that. I'm in, sir.
Naomi, the machine number is SC47-012.
Acknowledged. I'll confirm soon.
Unlock all security doors and restore the lights within the facility.
All right. So this one's a little bit more complicated. So let's see if we can do it. So again, we have to open up the shell.
Naomi, the lights are still down. The machine number is SC47012. See if you can run a program to restore power.
Acknowledged. I'll use the connect command in the console.
You can always type help to list available commands.
Once you're
Alright.
done, focus on restoring the lighting.
Okay. So we type in help, and we need the connect command. So, and I even said there's a typo there. All right. So it's meant to be remote computer, first name, last name, and a pin. So, all right. Still in active development. So let's do connect. I probably need to do some sort of transcript of all the dialogue coming through, but because I've played this like 100 times now, I know what the ID of the computer is. So it's SC47012. it does come up in the dialogue of the game. So, but yeah, I think we do need to have some sort of transcript option. So let's click on this little globe thing, which is like our little internal internet. And there's just different parts of the game that you can go to. So if I click on this orb, and of course you can just explore this and see what it is. But if you remember from the previous mission, we actually picked up a card from the doctor that was killed before. So we've got it up here.
Okay, Jamie Turner's card. Let's see if there's anything useful I can do with it.
All right. So again, connect. So actually, before we do that, let's type in help. Or not. So connect. So it's remote computer. And then what you need to do is the first name and the last name. So that's there. And then you need a pin. So where's the pin? Well, you got to turn the card. So there we go. And so we have to connect. So 3487. Oh, let's see if we can try that again. Yep. So 472. And I mean, we could even turn the card back if we needed to. And then get the pin. 3487. There we go. So we've connected. So there's a little mini network that we've built into the game as well. All right, and restore power. So there we go. And we've got lights. Now, by the way, that's actually completely optional. You can actually complete the entire level in night vision if you couldn't figure that out, or
No signs of hostiles so far, but it's like everyone just vanished mid-work.
Keep searching. Naomi, anything from your end? Can you pull data from these terminals?
Stand by. I'll need a moment to access the network remotely. If the facility's power grid is compromised, a lot of the stored data might be corrupted.
all right. So let's keep exploring the lab or facility.
Sir, take a look at this. Some kind of combat tech, maybe experimental.
Advanced, but incomplete. Looks like they were still in the experimental phase. If this is what they were working on, no wonder this place was a high-value target.
Human.
Yes. See this? It's a kidney.
A liver here, sir.
What's going on here? Is this what you were expecting?
No, not at all.
So yeah, this level took a very long time to make up. You can see the amount of artwork to do, and when you're both the programmer and the artist, it can take extremely long time to get this all together. But I'm quite pleased on how it's actually all turned out.
What is it, Riley?
I feel that I'm being watched.
I've felt the same.
Orders?
Continue to be vigilant.
All right, so we'll just go down this way and see what we get. Not only did it take a long time to actually do this level.
Yeah, all the artwork.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. It complements the map really well. So.
Thank you. Yeah, so I was going to say, this is actually my second or even maybe third attempt of doing this. Um, the walls, for example, the first time I did it, I had to. I wasn't really happy with it, so I actually ended up redoing it. Um, but it's somewhat inspired by um, the movie Andromeda Strain when they're going through the lab. It's a fairly old movie, but I really liked them going down through the bowels of the different levels and the different colors. So I kind of wanted to replicate that. So we started off with blue, and then we went to gold, and now we're in green.
If not here, then somewhere.
But yeah, it took about I think 2 or 3 months to get this all
Open
together.
fire.
So let's take out this cell. So you got to be a little bit careful with these cells because they just they're melee, so they go right towards you. And because we've got grenadiers, they actually have area of attack effects. So you and they do friendly fire, so you got to be a little bit careful not to take out your own team. Um, Again, when it comes to the balancing, you got to be a little bit careful of that. So we've got some tight corridors here. I kind of wanted to give a bit of a feeling of claustrophobia. So yeah, go quick, quick, quick. I still really like to improve the behavior of uh, these cells and the other units that are probably about to come up soon. Um, but yeah, balancing it and getting the right behaviors in is a bit tricky. And again, a bit time consuming because you have to test it and see how things work in large collections and small collections and when they're in individual units.
I don't like this. It's too quiet, too easy.
I'm with you, sir. Feels like we're walking into a trap.
So yeah, fairly short and narrow pathway coming through. Uh, Sometimes he's a little bit hard to target because they actually do shake. Um, Again, this is something that I'm still thinking about. Like, should I widen the attack space or keep it as is? Probably the former, to be honest, because it's somewhat random, um, and so maybe not the best for players. I might bypass you.
Is
Amanda,
this currently the
what do you think is
third
going on
mission?
here?
This is the third mission, yes.
Yeah, whatever this place was doing, it doesn't sit right.
Yep.
Any idea what it all means?
Okay.
Not yet, but one thing's for sure.
Yeah, what's that?
I wouldn't want this happening to Fred.
Fred? New boyfriend?
Very funny. No, I mean it's my dog.
Ah, got it.
Yeah, so I wanted just a little bit of comedy just to break it up.
The path splits into two, and we might not have the forces to clean up both.
Naomi, any chance you can pull data from the security cameras? Maybe they can give us a clue.
All right, let's try the crystal path.
All right, so this is our second unit that we're up against. So these little bolt crystals. As you can see, they're not melee. So they have a range. So yeah. So again, we can kind of get around them as well. So the enemy is on two types of basically what we call orders. So there's standing, which means they basically do nothing unless they something attacks them. But we also have guard. So we'll see this coming up. So these two will react. But you can see here these ones are on currently on stand. And again, this all goes into the balancing of the game. Like, you know, what do you actually put on guard mode or guard orders versus just simply standing there. All right. So let's just keep proceeding upwards. And oh, this doesn't look good.
Take a look.
Yes, Colonel, what is it?
Another one. They've been here. Some didn't make it.
This place, it feels like a tomb. How many more are dead?
I'm still pulling data from the cameras. There's definitely more movement down here. We're not alone.
We keep moving. The mission comes first.
Yep. So we have another entry ray coming up.
Something's not right. This whole place feels like it's waiting for us.
Stay safe, Matt. I've got your back.
I know, Naomi. Please watch over my company.
Of course.
Yeah, so this is our red level, the bottom level. So I'm still currently thinking like, should I add anything more? It's kind of difficult because you want a bit of a deserted uh, facility or laboratory, but you also want to try to keep things a little bit more interesting. So this is why I added some, cardboard boxes here, and then stack them all on top.
Yeah, it does feel quite deserted, which is good.
Yeah. So got some pipes. And here we are. Here are the
Are
scientists.
you okay?
Who are you? We're Dominion forces. We've been sent to secure the facility. Can you tell us what happened here?
There's no one left. They're all gone. They're likely dead.
What happened?
We don't. We don't know.
You don't know. How is that possible? Didn't you create these creatures?
No. We found them. Initially, they weren't hostile, but one day, they escaped. Some of us rushed downhill, trying to contain them.
Escaped? How is that possible?
They were not hostile at first, but then they broke free, and we don't know.
Let's move back out.
No. I mean, you shouldn't go that way. There's an elevator back to the first floor. It's been charging since you restored power.
Why didn't you and your group simply escape that way?
No power. We couldn't. But now, you've restored it. The elevator's charging. You can use it to leave.
How long until we can use it?
Depends when you restore the power. But emergency systems should have recharged in a few minutes.
What exactly are these creatures? Can you describe them?
They're like nothing we've seen before. One of them was this massive acid spewing cell. giant, burning on contact. It's hard to believe until you see it.
Acid. What about the others?
The second was a crystalline being, covered in an electrically charged, hardened shell. It generates long range shocks, powerful enough to disable any one unit.
And the third?
There's a pulsar like creature, driven by stable nuclear fusion. It's like a ball of plasma, unstable at close range, but deadly when targeting groups of infantry from a distance.
So they adapt to anything we throw at them?
We're not sure. Further study is required.
And what about the biolabs? They were human-shaped.
Medical studies, research on biological samples which is already dead. For disease control, nothing more.
The biolabs were damaged?
I can't explain that. Might be the other specimens.
Lieutenant, the elevator is ready.
Let's get out of here.
Naomi, we are moving out through the central elevator. Keep a comms channel at all times as we evacuate the scientists.
Affirmative.
All right. So yeah, so that was our third mission. So this is our fourth and final mission. Yeah. So this is we're going to be back outside. So let's have a look and see what we're doing.
Everyone, stay close. The vehicles are just ahead. Don't stop for anything.
Dawson, Riley, keep those creatures off us.
What? This is not good.
Quiet, keep moving.
Too many! We can't hold them for long.
Just keep them off the civilians.
So let's get them out.
Everyone's in. Move out.
All right. Let's see if we can take these guys out. So we've got our vehicles here. So obviously most of the game is infantry, but we do have other types. So our vehicles, obviously in the first mission, we had aircraft and ships. We do have different types as well. So yeah, we're eager to develop more and expand the game over time. So yeah, these are the pulsars.
The path is now blocked. You can't go through.
Confirmed. Suggestions?
There's a narrow pass to the west. It's tight, but it might get us through.
That's going to slow you down. Can you risk it?
We don't have a choice. Ensign, take the lead.
So the pulsars are actually a sprite, an image sprite, but I've also added a particle effect. So far, they're the only unit that actually has that. So all other units are just simply images, and they're just rotate as they change direction. But the pulsars, which is the large ball of fire.
Holding up. Are they all right?
Still with us, Naomi? They're shaken, but holding it together. For now.
Make sure they stay calm. We can't afford any distractions right now.
We're doing our best, Naomi. Just focus on getting us through this.
So, careful. Again, as the game developer, I kind of know where to go. So, but of course, if you're playing this for the first time, the idea is that you would explore a bit more. But yeah, so yep, go through. So we actually have to come down here. So we actually have to get to this radar. So we've got a radar and a power plant. Again, I really love the isometric view of the buildings, and I'm really happy on how they've turned out.
It's nice to finally see them live.
Yes, yes, I've been showing Eva for the last few months in isolation, And so, yeah, yeah. Oh, come on, let's get going. All right, maybe we should take him out. They might not seem, very tough, these creatures, but they actually are taking off my health a fair bit. So, um, yeah, so I'm going to make sure that I try to keep my vehicles alive. So let's come up here.
We've reached the radio tower. Let's get that signal out.
Dawson, make sure that message goes through. We don't have much time.
Signal's weak. Trying to boost it. Hold on.
Is the ship coming? Will it really reach us in time?
The Aegis Vanguard is our only shot. Stay close. If we can't get them here, we'll lose everything.
It's transmitting. Waiting for confirmation. Hold tight.
Signal sent. The Aegis Vanguard is on its way.
All right. So let's see if we can get where we need to get to. So this is the level actually I would like to rework a little bit more. I'd like to add a little bit more tension to this level. I think it's a little bit lacking. I was thinking maybe doing some sort of defensive towers from the units that we're trying to get through, just to increase a little bit of tension. So we're welcome to feedback for anyone who's watching at some point. And yeah, please let us know through our Discord channel, through itch.io. So yeah, please let us know. Might take out this pulsar.
Yep, I've also added the itch.io link in the chat.
Beautiful. So one other thing I want to add, especially with this level, because there's actually not a lot of dialogue, so it gives me a chance to talk a little bit. So for anyone who's out there, watching and interested in game development, and especially if you're just an individual, not working for a company, and wanting to do things, outside of a game engine in particular, I'm very happy to have further discussions in our later videos and our later streams, because we intend to do this more in the future. Let's get around. So I've got a little ammo crate. So yes, we actually do have ammo for all the units that shoot projectiles. So I'm just going to refill a little bit. I could probably add some sort of indicator that the ammo is getting refilled, but yeah, again, work in development, still in development. But yeah, like I said, if you're interested in game development, I'm very happy to talk about this. As you saw at the beginning, this is actually running on a website, so there's no installation that you need to do. You just load it up. So for the most part, this is written in JavaScript. Very little HTML, pretty much practically no CSS. Like there's literally only 3 lines of CSS. So it's all done essentially in JavaScript. But we do use some frameworks. So for example, this is running on the Pixie.js framework. So it's a library or framework that's able to access your graphics card. So we're actually rendering these graphics currently on my graphics card. So yeah, it's a website that can tap into that. Another framework we use is Pala, which is an audio framework. So I've been using that for the last few years as well, and very happy with it. So all this music and dialogue and sound effects is being produced by that. So again, yeah, very much recommend anyone um, who's thinking into game development, particularly for the web, um, that might be something that you can consider. Um, you might also notice if if you rewind the video when we post it later, this is actually part of the second mission. So this is when the Matt and Amanda walked up through. It's actually the same map. It's just been extended, but of course it's
Yes.
now
Yep.
it's now during the day instead of nighttime. So the nighttime one is actually just an extra layer, a dark layer that we put on top, and so it gives that nighttime feel. And then of course we added the lights to give that effect. And this is one of the advantages of actually doing something from scratch through game development is you learn a lot. And again, if we ever have that dialogue with the wider community, again, more than happy to do that. But we're about to wrap up, actually. So if we just come down here, even the game's agreeing with me.
We made it. This is it. Let's get on board.
Everyone, get the scientists on the ship. No one gets left behind.
Clear so far? Let's move.
This place, it's freezing. Are we safe now?
Almost there. Be patient.
Ship's prepped and ready. Let's get out of here before anything else shows up.
Let's move. We're not leaving anyone behind.
So yes, the portrait was wrong. I also noticed in mission 3 was also wrong. Yeah, we'll fix it in post. And so yeah. So yeah, that really concludes the gameplay aspect. There is a couple more things I can show. So we do have a profile picture of our personnel. So this is the character that we're playing as. So a little bit of her details. We also have a completion time. So for any speedrunners out there, you can actually find out what time it is. I know it's not, super accurate, but we have included that in the game. Um, so we have our email system, which you can't open up yet, but we're getting there. So we have that. What else? We can click into the globe, and I'm not going to show everything. You guys can explore that. But we have our units. So our ship, this is at the very end and at the very beginning as well. So we do intend to extend the lore of the game. We really want to build up the universe for this game. We have some quite deep plans of how far this will go. So yeah, we're really keen to show even more, and for everyone to experience it on their own as well. So like I said, if you go to tgame.dev, join our website, have a look, have a playthrough. Of course, if any bugs that come up, please let us know as well, and we can fix them up. We've also been up live for about a month now, and so anyone who's actually already played the game before our live show, that's also fantastic if you've done that. You've actually really helped us out. So yeah, maybe we've got some videos. So
What? Who? Who is that?
so yeah, that's a little bit of a cliffhanger in the game. So maybe I'll let's see if people can kind of figure out what's going on with that. And yeah, so I hope everyone's enjoyed the stream and enjoy the gameplay. So like I said, feel free to play the game. Like I said, it's completely free. Um, this is not the end though. So I like to show a couple other things that we are currently in development. So just let me hide the screen for a second. Can't show. All right. Okay, excellent. So we have a second project. So this is our C++ project. This is much more um, bare bones. So really, we only have a demo mode open. But as you can see, we are currently working on a skirmish mode. So I actually will show that a little bit from the web point of view, but this is still very much in development. We are working on multiplayer as well. That's much more in the future. And of course, we do have a map editor as well. And hopefully one day we'll be able to release that as well. So we have a lot of things that we are working on. So again, um, anyone who wants to support us directly or indirectly, that would be fantastic. But yeah, let's just do a quick show of this. We are intending to make the C++ desktop version open source at some point. Though we do have plans to release that through a Patreon. Which we do have, and we will provide those links in due course. At the moment, we've only got one tier, so if you can support us through that, that would be also fantastic. So donations can be given through itch.io, but also if you want to do reoccurring support, you can do it through our Patreon as well. And we'll be adding more to that in the future as well. So if I just quickly do intermission, as you can see, extremely bare bones. So a few infantry, um, and yeah, we can attack these guys, I guess. And yeah, you can see obviously a lot of debugging messages coming up through that. So that's definitely one thing we want to expand on and release to the open community and get input through that. All right. Okay, let me bring over another window. So same game that we just played through online, but I've just opened up the skirmish mode. So again, this is still in development, but yeah, we've developed the different buttons, so you can do different drop downs. So that's and different maps. So this is actually a map that Eva designed and developed herself. So that's there. I think this one works, so let's try that out.
Yes, I remember that one.
Yeah. So you did it over the summertime. So yeah, but you can see here we just got one vehicle, not a lot going on yet. Um, it is our next priority to develop the skirmish mode. Um, the things that are kind of holding us back at the moment is obviously when you develop a skirmish mode, you need essentially full access to the tech tree. Um, so we're hoping to get the full Dominion Forces one done sometime this year. Um, at the moment, it's really just the pixel artwork. I am currently working on the construction facility, almost done. I think a couple more days, maybe up to a week, we can get that up and running. But there's a few more buildings that I also want to do. And then secondly, which is more from a programming perspective, yes, you saw a little bit of AI from the enemy forces that were battling before, but we need a bit more of a strategic AI to, do I need to get resources collected? Do I need to build up an army? Do I need to send them out? At what time do you need to do that? So that's a little bit more complicated, a little bit more thought that has to go through on that front. All right. So yeah, I think we'll leave it at that. And so we're going to obviously post this on our YouTube channel as well for Total Game Development. So please post a comment if you're watching us on YouTube. I also would like to say a very much thank you for Eva for coming on tonight and helping me out and asking a few questions and commenting along the way. So more than welcome to do this again. It's been really, really fun. And yeah, and thank you for everyone who's been watching.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right. Bye, guys.